morning. After the first 2 days here in Cleveland, the themes of the Republican convention are now crystal clear. Attack, lie, and distract. They've settled on this strategy because they have nowhere else to go. One, because the Republican Party is deeply ambivalent about their party's nominee for president. We've never seen a convention where so many speakers barely mention the name of their candidate. Two, because on a night that was supposed to be about making America work again, there was barely a mention from any speaker of specific plans to create jobs and increase incomes. It's crystal clear that Trump literally has no plan to grow our economy and put Americans to work, and no plan to bring Americans together. And tonight we're certain to hear more offensive rhetoric because Trump's divisiveness and bigoted policy proposals seem endless and spare very few. So this morning, we'll share a few shameful examples. Trump has called women fat pigs and disgusting. He has said there should be some form of punishment for women who have an abortion. He called pregnancy an inconvenience for employers and said putting a wife to work is a very dangerous thing. And we all remember how he treated Fox reporter Megyn Kelly and the things that he said about her after the debates. He has suggested that we impose a ban on Muslims coming to the United States. Trump released a statement calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the U.S. with no end date in sight. He also suggested creating a database to track American Muslims, and recently said that no, he is not softening his stance at all. He shared anti-Semitic images on Twitter, and by the way, the Republican Party has so many anti-Semites trolling it that they had to shut down their live chat the other night during the convention while it was going on because of the anti-Semitic rants overrunning their live chat. And Donald Trump mocked a New York Times reporter with a disability. He opposes same-sex marriage, supports religious freedom laws that allow discrimination against LGBT people, and he selected the most extreme anti-LGBT vice presidential candidate in modern history with Governor Pence. Bullying and demeaning people is no way to run a country, but that's exactly what Donald Trump aims to do. And with that, I am thrilled to be joined by our hometown Congresswoman here, my friend, the former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, Marcia Fudge.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very much, and thank you for being here. I was really excited about the fact that the Republicans were coming to Cleveland. I thought it would be great for our city, and it is. I thought that this was an opportunity to showcase who we are as a people, and it is, because you see how we have conducted ourselves as opposed to how they have conducted themselves. We are better than Donald Trump's rhetoric. If I look at that hall every day, I would think we must be in two Americas, one black, one white. There is no diversity. There is nothing going on in that hall that represents me, that represents the people I represent. You would believe that there really are two Americas, one rich, one poor. You would not know that all of us want the same things. Everybody wants to live in a decent neighborhood. They want to be safe. They want their kids to go to good schools. They want everybody to have a real opportunity to succeed, but you don't hear that from these guys. All you hear is hate. They still believe the president is a Muslim. How stupid is that? They still believe that this country is going down because the president of the United States doesn't do what they want him to do. These are people, in my opinion, who have tainted the entire image of the United States of America. I'm here today with my colleagues because I want to say to you, I trust the only patriot in this race, the person who cares about this country, that doesn't want to divide but wants to bring us together. I don't support bigots, and that is what Donald Trump is. And I will never, as long as I draw breath on this earth, believe that a person like Donald Trump can be the president of the United States. With that, I would give you our chairman, Xavier Becerra.
Well, Marcia, thank you very much, and it's great to be in Cleveland with you. You're right, great weather,
Absolutely.
great people, but a really angry Republican convention, a really bitter bunch of people who are speaking, and a really nasty way to tell the people how we're going to come together as one, as the United States of America. To our chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and a colleague in Congress. We thank her for all the work that she's been doing. We know you've been here many times. We know you've been through so many parts of our country so many times, and you've seen how people want us to come together. People do want us to be united, and at the end of the day, people do want us to get to work, get things done. But you take a look at what's being said at this convention, and you got to wonder who's going to do it, and who are they going to do it for? I got to tell you, I have to agree with Congresswoman Marcia Fudge. I get the sense that this convention really doesn't have doors open to everyone in America, which is kind of scary, because there was a time when my father would tell us as a young man he was not welcome to walk through every door in America. The signs outside those restaurants would say no dogs or Mexicans allowed. And so my father, a U.S. citizen, could not walk through the doors of a restaurant. Well, today, because he did what all of us want to do, he married, he and his wife, my mother, worked hard. They played by the rules. They finally got to buy a home. They sent their kids to college, first to go to college. Then they were able to retire in dignity. And guess what? That same man, who at a young age could not walk through the doors of a restaurant, got to walk through the doors of the White House to take a photograph with the President of the United States. That's a welcoming America. That's the America I believe we're going to hear about next week when we nominate Hillary Rodham Clinton to be President of the United States. But I must tell you, when I hear that the nominee for one of the great parties in America says that a man who gets himself educated, born and raised in Indiana, cannot, after becoming a successful lawyer and then getting the votes in the U.S. Senate to become a U.S. federal judge, cannot rule impartially on behalf of the American people because of his ancestry, because he has Mexican ancestry. When Donald Trump said that about Judge Gonzalo Curiel, I had to wonder, are we going back to those days where my dad could not walk through the doors of a restaurant? That's not the America that we want to see. The speeches that we're hearing don't bring us together, and we certainly can't talk about being a United States of America the more we see that. So I think we're here to say this. What you're hearing on the convention floor, that's not America. You'll hear much about what America is, and by the way, what America looks like next week in Philadelphia. But we're going to be here because there are a whole bunch of Americans who have to walk through a whole bunch of doors. They want to have that first chance to go to college. They want to have that first chance to be professionals. And our chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, our Congresswoman, Marcia Fudge from the 11th District of Ohio here in Cleveland, working together, united, we can get things done. And we are intent on having a Congress that will work with the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton, to get things done for all Americans. Not just some, not just those in the convention hall today, all Americans.